Cat's Diamond Painting, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've joined me here before. I'm excited! You may recognise from the packaging that I have two items here from Diamond Art Studio. My pre-orders came in. I have been looking forward to taking a look at these kits for a long time now. I pre-ordered these in February and it's well within their SLA still, but it's been a little longer this time until they could get the kits in. Or it feels like it has. Maybe I'm just more impatient. Anyway, I think it was about 10 weeks since I ordered these, which, yeah, that expectation was set, but I'm impatient, so I was very keen to get my hands on these. So these have just arrived in my house today, and I'm cracking straight on with unboxings, mainly because they will be available for general purchase soon, so I thought it'd be quite helpful for people if I got unboxings out straight away. The way Diamond Art Studio does their new releases is a little different to anything I've seen anyone else doing. What they do is they show us their new releases, and then they have a period of usually a week or so where the kits are available for pre-order. That's limitless. It's just if you want to order it, you can, and then they get the figures and they put that through to their supplier. They also always order extra stock on top. So by pre-ordering, what you're doing is just guaranteeing your kit, you know, because they're ordering that kit specifically for you essentially, but they do get general stock in as well. So they're currently working their way through shipping out the pre-orders because they're obviously prioritizing those because we bought them a while back. And then I checked in with the owner and she said that the kits will be up for general release probably the end of this week or early next week. And the best thing to do is to follow them on their Facebook page because they're very communicative on there and they'll put updates when they're available. So I'm going to take a look at these, and then if you haven't pre-ordered one of these beauties and you like the look of them, you can kind of stalk their social page and yeah, you'll be able to pick one up hopefully either the end of this week or early next week. And if you are shopping with Diamond Art Studio and you would like to use my affiliate code, which is CAT10, I'll pop that up on the screen, you're more than welcome to do so. Doesn't have to be for your first purchase. It is only valid on diamond paintings and it will give you 10% off. So, right, I haven't decided yet because what I'm going to do, I've got two, obviously, as you can see. I'm going to get the covering off these beautiful parcels, and then I'm going to decide which one I'm going to look at today, and then the other one I'm going to do tomorrow or the next day, depending on when I can get to filming it, because I want to take my time and look at these properly and not squeeze them into one video. So let me get the packaging off and then you'll see what I've got. And then, well, you'll already know from the thumbnail which one I decided to look at first, but we will crack on with that. Okay, bear with. Okay, we have our beautiful Diamond Art Studio purple boxes. And the kits that I purchased were... Oh, it's upside down, of course. I believe this one is called, oh, if my camera will focus on the right bit, Fox and Child, or The Fox and the Child. I'll put it on the screen, I'll confirm which one it was. And this is by the artist Ebby Biddiscombe. I've looked at her releases before. This is the first one that I've actually bought. And this one, I adore this. It's one of those ones that was a little bit of a grower. The first time I looked at it, I maybe wasn't like, that's a must have. And then I kept wanting to look at it again. And every time I went back, I was like, oh no, I actually really, really love that. And it's something a little bit different for me, maybe. Anyway, so that is kit number one. And kit number two is, what is this one called again? The Light of My Life, I believe. Would you believe I actually looked at the name to remind myself like 5 minutes before I started filming? I'm already unsure again. But I do remember that it's by the artist Hafsa Idris. And again, like there's been several releases by this artist at Diamond Art Studio. I've looked at several in the past, but I think this is the first one I've actually bought. And as you can see, there is a cat and then all these beautiful lights in the sky. So yeah, it's probably unsurprising that I went for this one, whereas this one's maybe a little more different for me. I mean, I say my style, but it's pretty eclectic, isn't it? I like all sorts of things. But I think I'm going to go looking at this one today. And then if you are wanting to see an unboxing of this one, check back in a day or two and I will have that one up as well. So this is what the box looks all round. So you just got a few details on the side there. Here are their socials. So there is their Facebook page. Like I said, if you are a Facebook user, that's going to be your best place to get regular updates on what they're up to. They update it probably most working days. So you'll always know there about things like new releases, when your pre-order can be expected, when general release is going to be, and all of that kind of good stuff. Now, there's not going to be a toolkit in here because they do give you the option of purchasing, well, not purchasing, I'm pretty sure it's included, but they do say you can leave it out, and I don't need toolkits, so I never have that. So we've just got, quite simply, the diamond painting and all of the required bits for that. Oh, I'm excited. So here are my drills, and all the labels and things are going to be tucked away in here somewhere. So let me try and get to them. Yeah, okay. So I don't want to look at that quite yet. I've got to save that. So here are my sticky labels, and that is probably a better view for you of the artwork than that tiny little view at the bottom of the box. So yeah, this is a really lovely wintry project. I think for me, this is definitely one that I plan to bring out in the autumn/winter, because it's, I don't know, I feel like in my head I get confused between wintry and Christmassy, because if something's wintry, I automatically think Christmassy, but there's nothing actually Christmassy about this. And there's nothing actually that wintry about it. I suppose you've got evergreen trees and yeah, I don't know. That's just the vibe I get for it. So I kind of have this mentally planned in for later this year when we get into cold months again. I mean, we've barely left cold months. It's been a ridiculously cold May here. And then the temperature is going up like 10, 15 degrees in the next couple of days all at once. So that'll be fun. But I digress. I have realised that I am often very drawn to pictures that have a moon or a sun in them. I don't know. I don't know if it's just that those are quite often in landscapey style pieces that I go for anyway, or whether they draw me into kits, but I'm always fascinated by them and how they're rendered, and they often include special drills and all that kind of fun. So yeah, we're going to have a look and see how this one's been done. I love the simplicity of this design. I just think it's going to be really, really visually effective when it's done. You know, all those darker drills in the sky are going to be really shiny, and yeah. Stop waffling, Cat. Get on and have a look. So we've got 45 colours. 2 of them have the code ND after them. That is the code that Diamond Art Studio uses for frosty drills, which you may also know as fairy dust drills. There are all sorts of names for them out there, but it's that kind of effect, you know, also glimmer drills, sparkle drills. Places call them all sorts of things. Here they are frosty drills, and it is that kind of glitter effect top. And then at the bottom there we have an AB. They probably need slightly less explanation. Most people are familiar with ABs by now. But I will show you the special drills when I get a bit further into this. So yeah, really nice colour palette, lovely clear symbols. I always like to point out, because I think this is just a really cool attention to detail thing that really is a good example of why I enjoy the products of the shop so much. So they discovered a while ago that if you have a white letter or symbol on a darker background, basically when that's being printed, the printer isn't printing something in white, it's just leaving a gap. And that's when you can be more prone to colour bleed from the ink into the unprinted section. So what they started doing a while ago now, but I always think it's worth pointing out anyway, is they would print those in yellow instead. So yeah, it's just a cool attention to detail thing. It is Biddiscombe. There you are, there's the name too. It's Fox and Child, not the Fox and the Child. I keep thinking that it's Ebby Biddiscombe, but it's Biddiscombe. I'm hopefully going to get these names right in my head now. I don't know why I have such mind blockages about names. Anyways, this is going to be a 50 by 50 centimetre square drill painting. And let's take a look at it. So, let me get this a bit more flat. I'm loving this size. They seem to bring out quite a lot of releases at the 50 by 50 centimetre size. And this is something that I've pointed out on previous Diamond Art Studio like videos for their kits. that it's not that they're rendering small, like they're rendering things at the right size for the artwork, so you get a really lovely image. But I guess it's the artwork that they're drawn to licensing is often quite, you know, it often lends itself to a slightly smaller size. I say small, 50 by 50 centimeters isn't small, but for me that's like a good medium-sized project that doesn't take too long. And I like that. It's nice to have some small to medium kits in the mix amongst all my big and beastie kits that take me forever. Let me bring you back a bit. Nope, that's in. You would think, after all the years of having this camera, that I would easily remember which was which. Or maybe you wouldn't, considering I can't even remember the names of the kits I'm showing you. But yes, here is the whole painting in all its beauty. I love this one. I also am so pleased that this is one they've brought out after the switch to fully hand rendering. I think that their pixel artist is doing a really good job in all of their recent releases, and they're turning out beautifully. And I think this is the kind of piece where, because I look at this and I see a fairly simple design, I don't mean that in a pejorative way, you know, just that that's the art style. Like those are the kinds of paintings where if it's computer rendered and it's got a lot of confetti, I'm more likely to get frustrated with that confetti because it just doesn't feel necessary in the same way. So I love that we're going to get that kind of crisp dedication to the artwork through this, and I think that's going to suit it really well. Wow, I love this one. What is it about foxes in diamond painting? I feel like foxes and wolves are eternally popular in diamond painting, and I don't think I'd ever spent much time thinking about either animal before diamond painting, but I'm definitely in the foxes and wolves brigade when it comes to choosing my artwork for diamond paintings. I'm just going to draw that curtain because I feel like the light coming over here is going to make everything go a bit warped. There we are. Always a shame to draw the curtains on a nice sunny day, but it does mean you can see it more clearly. So let's do the basics. Check the glue. All feels very good. So we do in fact have a fair bit of confetti in the bottom, which you would expect looking at the artwork because there is a lot more detail down there. But then after that, I would say this is largely a colour blocking piece. You've got little bits of more broken up confetti in the trees. You know, trees are always going to have confetti. But all of this beautiful sky with these like deliberately gradated colours, I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, like it's very authentic to the artwork that you have these quite clear markings where the colours change in the sky. And then the trees again, bit of confetti, but then you've got this big old moon with his little face. And then all these stars are going to be so beautiful. I wonder if that's one of the special drills. Yes, it is. This dollar symbol down here, that is going through all of these stars, and then also quite a lot through the moon as well. So that's going to be beautiful. You definitely want a bit of extra razzle-dazzle for stars in the sky, don't you? Yeah, that is going to be beautiful. And then actually, the fairy dust drills, so that symbol there, I also just saw in the stars. Let me just show you, because there are sort of yellowy goldy patches amongst the stars, as well as the more silvery effect ones that you're going to get on those white ABs, because of course the coating is a sort of silvery pinky effect, isn't it? And then I'm guessing, yeah, that reddish fairy dust drill is going to go in the fox, and it's on her hat and shoes, and it's in these trunks. But let me actually get those out and show you. True to form, I'm not going to get all of these out because I will never get it back looking neat, and I need to be able to pack this away in the box until I'm ready to work on it. But I am going to get the special drills out, because I've shown you where they go on the canvas, and sometimes you really need to actually see them to visualize it. And in fact, that is quite interesting straight away, because the one that I thought was going to be a sort of reddish color is actually a very lovely orange shade. Will you focus, camera? So yeah, that's gorgeous. So actually orange makes perfect sense for a fox, doesn't it? But yeah, those are kind of going to be blended in with more reddish tones in those areas, but the shimmer effect, the highlighting, is coming from this orangey frosty drill. And then here we have that kind of, what would you call that? It's like a sort of soft gold, almost going into peachy beige. I'm not sure, but I do know it's very pretty. So that is the one that I see in all of the kind of goldish stars. And then, of course, here is the AB, and that's quite a big old bag. Got plenty of that between the moon and the stars, and then a little bit speckled around I see as well, like there's a little bit here in the fox. Mostly I think it's reserved for those bits in the sky. But yeah, there is an AB, in case you're not sure what that looks like. That beautiful shimmery coating, as you can see, perfect for stars. Now, I wonder where we are with the drills, because Diamond Art Studio are midway through a transition to uniform topped drills. So what I mean by that is right, how to show you. So these, for example, again, if my camera will focus, you might see that some of the drills have a kind of flat effect on top, and they have 9 facets. And then some of them have a few more cuts into them, and they have 13 facets. That's your sort of typical standard drills that all square drills used to be until a few years ago. But now some of the shops that are particularly dedicated to quality are starting to transition to drills that have all the same top, and those tend to be much better quality drills. So I had a kit from them that I bought last June, I believe, or I got it in June, and that had a few colours that had uniform top drills. They've gone with, I believe it's 15 facet drills. So I'm just wondering if I can see what I've got here. I see a sort of orangey beige colour there that's definitely got uniform drills. Or does it? No, I might have misspoken on that one. I think I see mostly a mixture in these, which is fine. That is what happens when shops are transitioning to different drills. You're going to have a big long period while they are working through the old stock and bringing in the new stock. And I had no problem whatsoever with their older drills. I'm just excited to work with the newer drills because they were especially lovely. Let me pull one out at random just to have a look. So I'm pretty sure that this dark blue here is one with the newer drills. In fact, shall I get some out in a tray? That would be more helpful than peering through a bag. Yes, so it's maybe not the best colour to show you, but then it tends to be the darker ones that have transitioned first, because I guess they get used up more quickly. But you can hopefully see that those have a really nice uniform effect. So yeah, looking forward to working with those, because on the last kit that I worked on from them, they were an absolute dream. So low in trash drills, just so pretty on the canvas. Really, really lovely. And again, it's just like the kind of yellow font printing thing. I feel like it's just a commitment to quality that I really like and respect in a shop that I'm buying from. So there it is. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? Oh, I'm a little bit obsessed with this one. Actually, I'm obsessed with both of them. I'm really looking forward to looking at the other one as well. Because yeah, they are perfect for my taste at the moment. What have I forgotten to cover? There's usually something. But yeah, let me know if you picked this one up in their pre-order. They had some absolute beauties. And this is going back, there's been a whole nother round of new releases since these were actually ordered. So yeah, they're bringing them out quite regularly now, which is really exciting. If you're in the UK, always worth pointing out that postage is free. That's always nice to know. It comes with UPS and it usually arrives the day after it's picked up from their warehouse. sometimes a bit longer, but typically. And if you're international, as far as I'm aware, they do ship everywhere. There is postage to pay if you're international, because of course it does cost them a lot of money to send these giant parcels internationally. But yeah, I know that they work very hard to keep their costs down and keep it as reasonable as possible. So I'm going to stop waffling. I might just stand here and admire this for a little bit longer myself. And then I may even crack on and have a look at the other one. Well, I have to check the time and see if I have time before I need to go on and meet a cat sitting client. But yeah, thank you very much, Diamond Art Studio, for bringing out these beautiful releases. It's particularly lovely, I think, for me as a Brit to have a shop here in the UK that is producing really good quality kits, bringing out lots of releases, lots of them to my taste. You know, I'm very used to buying my diamond paintings internationally because that's traditionally where a lot of the shops have been. And I know there are other UK shops as well, but I just, yeah. Diamond Art Studio is one of my absolute faves. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know in the comments if you like the look of this one and think you might be wanting to pick it up. Obviously, if you haven't pre-ordered it and you're looking to pick it up when it goes on general release, there's no guarantees because, you know, depends what demand is compared to stock levels. But it's always worth pointing out that Diamond Art Studio are very much about avoiding the FOMO. And they do restock every kit, you know, barring any unforeseen circumstances like licensing issues that would stop them being able to. But yeah, they are all about trying to get kits to everyone who wants them. So if you do miss it this round, it will be restocked, is how I understand their commitment there. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have enjoyed this video, please consider dropping a like on it and also dropping a comment down below to let me know what you think of this kit. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, I'd love to have you stick around, so please consider doing that too. And I will hopefully see you again soon. Bye bye.